Well, if you just joined us, then you're definitely watching the Power Breakfast Show. My name is Wahiga Mwaura. Now today in studio I have a man I can only call a very special guest. He was the first ever African driver to win a Kenya National Rally Championship. And what he considered his greatest success is the fact that he and Dave Williamson were the first African winners of the Group N Championship Series. Of course, he'll be giving us so much more about his accomplishments in studio today. But ladies and gentlemen, so proud to have Patrick Njiru here with us.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so great to be here today.
Good to have you. Many years.
It's true.
Right. Of course, yesterday I did let people know that you'll be coming on the show, and they sent me so many questions. I hope I'll be able to go through many of them. But one of them was, how do you manage to stay and look so young, Njiru? That's the first question everyone was asking me. I mean, we've seen him ever since we were growing up, and he still retains that look.
I think, Wahiga, bottom line is that when you're a sportsman, you always become a sportsman. And one of the best things that I've always had is going to the gym and being part of the gym right back from the days when I was really racing competitively. And that has continued with me to date. So as a result of that, it has always been very easy for me to get along with whoever we have been trying to do. Like this morning, I was up in the gym at 6. So I have been at the gym at the Silver Spring and come back now here, and then again back tomorrow morning. No, tomorrow morning, that's over. Tomorrow morning again, we'll be there, because it's always good when you are physically fit, you become mentally fit, and then you can be able to have a young heart which you can be able to keep on going with. But behind that, the whole of this, I'm lucky in the sense that I don't drink, I don't smoke. So that has really kept me down very well. I hope our viewers are listening. Some of those tips, if you want to look and feel as young as Patrick Njiru. And I think the strength of youth is what has enabled him to make the decision to come back into rallying. But before we look at that, where have you been? Actually, that's true. What happened is in the year 2002, we had our last Kenya National Championship rally with a guy called Njiru. We did the Firestone Rally. It was finishing it was organized by the Kenya Motorsports Club then, and which I am a member of. And when we won that rally, we started, I think, car number 9 or something. And then eventually, when we came back and won the rally, I felt, I think this is time now for me to take a break. And it's just good, because then, you know, when you leave it at the top, when you are at the top and you leave it when you are there at the top, everybody remembers. And that was the amazing thing about the whole of this thing. And it has always been like that, because I can tell you for sure, retirement is boring. Because outside there, you know, you feel, I want to come back. No, I don't want to come back. I don't want to do this, you know. So it was very good when I got a phone call from Dr. Stephen Funk, who is doing the Race for Change, who is organizing the Race for Change. I got a phone call from him, and he said, hey, Patrick, would you mind to come and race in a very different race? I said, what do you mean by that? And I said to him, yeah, I don't mind doing that kind of, but what is it about? Then he said to me, it's about the empowering the women of Kenya. It's trying to do a change for the women of Kenya through the microfinance, because he's the vice chairman of the worldwide microfinancing scheme in the whole world. And he wanted to do something for the women of Kenya through the Jamii Bora project. And Stephen said, let's do something, and we try to raise a lot of money for them to give them in this region. We can try and raise maybe $1 million and give it to the Jamii Bora, who gives these women, our real mothers, who are there in the street selling boga, sukuma wiki, you know, the women going for 500 shillings, 300 shillings and all that. And when I had that idea, I just said, yes, yes. And he kept quiet, and he said, you know, Patrick, you are on board. And you know who you're going to drive against? Bjorn Waldegard. Pastrana, who is the American champion. As you know, Bjorn Waldegard has been a legend in the Safari Rally. We competed so many times with him in the Toyota team, and me being in the Subaru team. And I said, this is wonderful. But when we finished, he sat down for 30 seconds and he said, you know what, Patrick? This is something you'll not forget. I said, why? When you empower a woman and you make sure that a woman has got what it takes, you have empowered the country. And that really was so cool. And he said, I only congratulate you for one thing, that successful people make their decisions quickly and change their minds slowly. He said, failures make their decisions slowly and change their minds quickly. I said, what do you mean by that? It was so powerful. He said, it never took you 30 seconds to understand what we were talking about. And I'm so happy to have you on board, and we are going to do this. And I'm going to fly to Kenya to come and make a formal announcement. And that's what happened, actually. And I was so excited when I got the whole of this, because seeing Ingrid, this lady who runs the Jamaica, Ingrid Monroe, amazing lady, really, who is doing so much work. And they have so many branches all over the country. And when you see what they are trying to do now, so many other institutions have come over for the women empowerment. And it is through that now we are trying really to make a good awareness in the whole of North America, Europe, Africa as well, so that we can see we are doing something for the country. And that's what really excited me, that I've gotten a chance to do something. Because when I see Tekla Rorupe, my very good friend, you know, with all this, what she's doing to the people in Kapenguri. I went once to her race there in the Peace. You know, amazing. Really, unbelievable. And when you see what she does and how she galvanizes everything to make sure that these things happen, you really feel you need to do something for this community. And I was so happy, really. I was so excited.
You know, I almost feel like closing the interview right now. I mean, I think if we say anything else, we may dilute the content. But women empowerment is what I'm getting. A target of 80 million Kenya shillings.
Yes.
Which could reach thousands of women.
Yes. Yes.
Through the Race for Change.
Yes.
When is it happening? This car will you be driving?
This is going to be happening in November in the East African Classic Safari Rally, whereby from November 15th for 10 days, we're going to tour the whole of East Africa for exactly the original kilometers of the Safari Rally, which used to be approximately 5,500 kilometers. And in that now, we'll be driving a Porsche, which is a factory team completely, exactly like the way we used to drive back in the Subaru days. And I was really very amazed, because I realized something in life. Life sometimes works miracles, because I am a very devoted Christian, and I pray a lot. And when Koseki, who was my mentor in the Subaru, died and passed on, I really moved out of rallying, because two things happened. That was Rick Matthews, who was my very close friend. When Rick passed on, because we really used to do a lot of enjoyment with Rick in the driving seat and all that, and then Koseki came and passed on, I didn't have a lot of motivation after that in the rally, and that was actually one of the reasons where I went underground completely. But then I realized life is not about the past. Life is about the future. It's what we want to do to the future. That's why we have faith with the future we don't see. And somehow down the line, I never called, I was called.
Somebody thought of you.
Yes.
Njiru, remembered you actually.
Yes. That's why I realized, I said, there's so much in this, because we're always saying we're waiting for God to come to us, but it is God who is waiting for us to go to Him. When it came in like this, and I said, oh, we must have faith with ourselves. Just like you did, you know, when you made me a phone call. I didn't know I'd get a phone call, you know, come over to the studio, you know, come and do this kind of a thing. And really, I felt over the period that I've been out, and every time, the people have always been asking me, why you don't come to the safari? I mean, I know, even the president himself asking me, what happened to the safari rally? Really?
Goodness.
You know, called yes. Yeah, he came to our school. We had the school where he was celebrating 50 years back in my village. And it was the same topic. Yes. Amazing.
I mean, if the president himself is asking you to get back.
Yes. So it's been something that we really realized when the opportunity came. I said, no, this is good. It is nice, and it is always good for us to try and do and help the other people, the people whom we have around. And I'm sure we're not gonna let them down, because the spirit is high, the hope is there. And next week I go to London to the Porsche team to go and see the car, and then we're gonna have the car come back again to Kenya for the testing. So which I'll be involved with, which is not a problem at all. And it's really going to be amazing, because the Race for Change is really going to make a change for the places where we are going to try and pass through. When we start in Mombasa, we come through the Amboseli to cross over to Tanzania, and then get across to the other side of Masai Mara and cut across to the Rift Valley, going into Uganda, and then come back through the, I just hope it can pass in Embu, Central Province, where I come from, those sites, and then pass through there so that the people can,
at home can see.
Yeah, all people can see, you know, can have a feeling before we get back again down to the coast in Mombasa, where I really had very beautiful memories of all the rallies, you know, in the national championship. Yes. I remember one of the places there used to be was Mombasa at the Mamangina Drive.
Mombasa
the people, yes, full completely, you know, amazing, really.
Right.